Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to tell you exactly how much I make from our property portfolio. I've got around 28 properties right now, residential and commercial. Some of them are worth a lot of money and some not so much money. I'm going to reveal all the numbers, why I chose to buy those particular investments, and I'm actually going to take you on tour to show you some of them. So let's work out how much we make from property. And what do I say we? I tell you why I say we, because I really see property is integral to the moving parts of the business. As a business entrepreneur, I own quite a lot of businesses. The property helps those businesses grow. And I'm going to talk to you about where I was at residential. We're going to go and look at my first house, my second house, my third house, and why I thought those numbers weren't really stacking up, and why I really got into commercial and how that absolutely changed everything. I'm going to show you the numbers, the spreadsheets, the rents we're bringing in, the value of what the property portfolio is worth, and crucially, how much debt I've got. If you want to know all the juicy numbers, make sure you stick around in the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And you know what you got to do next? Massage the like button. Let's go on tour. So this behind me right here is the first house I bought in Brentwood in Essex. Why did I buy in Brentwood in Essex? Because I was a novice property investor, and actually I went to school in Brentwood. I lived in Brentwood. So where'd you buy your first property or invest? Well, where you live. Stupid decision that I made, really. I've learned so much more through them, looking at actually the numbers, return on investment, and I'll go through that in this video, like how I work that all out now to make much better decisions. Although this hasn't been a terrible investment, I think I paid $227,000 for this. It's now worth about $470,000, $480,000, which is a really good investment. I bought this when I was 18 years old. I'm thinking, how did this guy buy a 4-bedroom townhouse, Mock Georgian in Brentwood in Essex at 18 years old? Well, kids entertainment magician, and I was earning quite well from that, and I saved up all the money for the deposit, and I got my first mortgage with what was then called Abbey National and now called Santander. So that was the first one that I made, bought. I rented it out straight away. I got £900 a month rent. So really, when I look at that, you know, you're buying something for £227,000, and what's that, like 9,000, what's that, £10,800 a year rent coming back in. To me, that's a terrible return on investment, but it's been great on capital appreciation. And what I've learned here is definitely that fact that property roughly doubles in value every 10 years. That's definitely happened here. And then I started looking at other property investments, and I bought another property in Rayleigh. And actually that one I decided to live in. So I bought this and rented it out straight away. I lived at my nan's house, rent free, because I just thought that was a smart thing to do. And then I went to Rayleigh. We're going to go and see that property right now. So guys, this was the first house that I bought that I lived in, but the second property I ever bought, and this is where I started my business. Funny story is down there was our old offices. I don't know if you can see that. Can you get that on chance? Yeah, that was it. And then down here we stored all of our bouncy castles and our inflatables and our prop equipment, and the council come knocking on my door and said, "Are you running a business from home, sir?" And I said, "I am." They said, "You can't do that." And a week later, before they were really going to heavy on me, we moved to our first commercial unit where we was trading the business, but I stretched it as much as possible. Little business story there for you. But yeah, I've still got this house. So every property I've ever bought, every time I've moved out, I've just then rented it out, and that's really helped me build up my property portfolio. So I would get consent to let some mortgage portfolio. I mean, nowadays I've got a portfolio loan, so they're all on a commercial mortgage. But so yeah, this is a nice house. Let's get the rough numbers on this. I bought this house for £151,000 when I was 19 years old. So about 9 months to a year after buying the other one in Brentwood. And I moved the business to here, as you know. So I was running it, and that was really good. And Aaron, my MD, lived here with me. And 2 other staff, we were crammed in there, I was building the business up. So I bought it for £150,000. It's now worth about £380,000, £390,000. It's a really good, nice area in Rayleigh and Essex. What do I get rent on that? I think I get about, I know what it is, £1,100 a month rent per month. It's all right, isn't it? Right, let's go to the next one. The year was 2011, and that's when James Sinclair bought his third property. It's this penthouse, which is the whole top floor of this property. There's 3 flats underneath. It's one huge flat. It's actually the biggest flat, I think, in this town of Rayleigh where we're standing right now. And I bought this for £207,000. We just had this valued for £390,000. So again, it's doubled in value in 10 years. The rent that we could get this on the market is about £1,150, £1,200 a month. So really good rent. Well, it's not really good, is it? It's pretty average rent. If you think something's worth £400,000 nearly, and you're only getting £1,200 a month rent, that's not very good. But I didn't think that at the time. And that's when I started to learn about cash flow as much as capital growth. So to get this in context, I was 25, 26 at the time, just thinking this is great. I've got quite a few properties now. I'm still in my mid-20s. I'm buying on cash flow. Even now, I just have to retrain my brain because I just told you out there where I mucked up. I've got an investment here that's worth 400 grand. I'm only getting £1,200 a month rent. Oh my God, that's terrible. Whereas if I put that into commercial, at a £400,000 commercial, I could probably get 4 grand a month rent with knowing what I'm doing. That's a much better sums. How did I start thinking like this? Well, I started reading books on property and going to seminars on property and really building up my education on understanding property in a much better way. So let's go and see the next thing that I bought about 6 months after buying this. Was a game changer. And this was my first commercial property. I bought this about 6 months after buying that flat that we've just looked at. And I've done this because, like I said, I've read books and went to property seminars. And I started looking at the return on investment in terms of cash flow. That's the rent that you get in from property, not just looking at what property was worth in the future. Because I thought, actually, I'd like some income. So I bought this place for about 150,000 and it was collecting itself about £25,000 a year in rent. So let's just quickly break that down. You could buy a flat or a house for 150 grand and maybe get 10 grand a year rent, or you could buy this for £150,000 and help yourself to £25,000 a year rent. What? This is brilliant. Now, I did find Lloyd's lent me the mortgage on the first one. You have to pay the capital off and the interest. Residential, you can pay just the interest off. So there are some cons in terms of the amount you have to pay back to the bank, but then you own it very quickly. And this now is worth £400,000. I bought it for 150. It's now worth £400,000, independently valued by Savills, flipping fantastic. And the rent we're getting off of this is 35 grand a year. I just love little grotty commercial. I mean, it's not terrible, but I just like these things here. So what I do is I've separated this into 4 units. I've got 2 offices upstairs that I rent out. Come and have a little look. So I've got Fairylee Photography Studio up here, and then we've got a recruitment company. They rent that, and then I've got a carpenter on this side and a car mechanic on that side. Brilliant. And it's also de-risks. You think when you got a house, if someone moves out, you've lost the rent completely, and you have to find a new tenant. Whereas here, if one person moves out, I've still got another 3 coming in. So I started looking at this HMO, if you like, multiple occupying property for commercial tenants. Probably fantastic. Started getting really excited about this sort of methodology. So I tried looking for bigger versions of this. It took me some years, but I finally found it, and I bought Red Lions Business Park. Let's go and see it. So here we are at Red Lion Business Park. We've got 14 units here, might be 16 actually, I've lost count. Plus we've got a yard over here, and we've got some container space, and another yard that we're building. What do I like this? Very much like Heron House. It's like Heron House on steroids, because if one of these people moves out or their business goes bust, we're still generating income from the other 15 tenants, plus added value. What do I mean by added value? Let's go and stand in the grass. So why this grass excites me is because we got outline planning permission to build 22 more units here, thus increasing the value of the site. And frankly, I think once we've done it, the site will be worth £3.5 to £4 million, and will generate around £400,000 in rent a year. Currently, it's worth 1.4 million, 1.6 million, and generating around 130 to 150,000 pounds worth of rent. That's about 10% rent roll compared to the capital purchase price of this site, which we bought for 1.4 million. So you're probably clocking up in your head, bloody hell, he's bought a lot of property and these are worth a lot of money and the values are really racking up. Well, don't worry, because I'm going to be sharing on the flip chart in just a memento exactly how much debt we've got, how much equity we've got, and how much rent's coming across the whole portfolio. I think you want to know that sort of stuff. Oh, another tip on multi-units. I know we spoke about this when we was at Heron House, but none of these have business rates because they're all under the rateable value. If you're a landlord and your tenant goes bust, you have to pay half business rates. Not here because of that rateable value thing that we've discussed. That's a smart thing to do with commercial property. Let's get back to the flip chart. Let's get into those juicy numbers. That's what I know you want. While you're here, don't forget, massage the like button. And if you want any clarification, please comment below as we go along. If you want to know more about property, then check out my Entrepreneurs University at jamessinclair.net, where you can go and do all the modules on property as well. And you can try that free 14 days. Let's get into this though, the juicy numbers. So we haven't seen all the properties today because there's bloody, I think, 32 different property tenants we've got. So that would have been a really boring video just to go and look at properties. And some of them are in Wembley, Ipswich and Manchester. But I want to go through some of the juicy numbers. Right, let's talk about cash flow first of all. What's our rents in? £32,500. I've put MV here. You might be thinking, what does MV mean? Well, look, our Wembley property, I'm the tenant of it, or one of our day nurseries and our play centres are the tenant of it. So we only charge them 65 grand a year rent. Now, if that property was on the open market, I could probably help ourselves to about 180 to 200,000 pounds worth of rent a year because it's in Wembley and it's a massive site. So we're a bit undervalued there, but it doesn't matter because it's our business and it all goes in the same pot at the end of the day. And talking about that, one of the main reasons we do property is because it benefits our business. As the properties rise in value, we've got security that we can draw off of to really fund the growth of the business. That's my primary reason for doing property. It helps grow our business, gives us security. So rent's in of 32,500, which if it was on the market value, that probably would be more like 40,000 pounds per month. And then the mortgages out are 18,102 pounds. Now, remember, on my stuff, a lot of it's commercial property. So from that £18,102, we're paying down the capital. That's the actual money that we've borrowed, not just the interest. So every single month, we're sort of chucking off a big chunk off of the capital. So we're owning more and more of the property. So there we go. Let's now have a look at the portfolio in terms of the value of it. So the value of the property, that I've rounded this round, like for example, Wembley here, I've put 3.5 million. I actually think that's probably closer to worth 4 million. Ipswich, I've put at 2 million. Next door sold for more than that at 2.4 million, and we're slightly bigger. So I actually think Ipswich is worth more than that. This one here, 1.1 million. The residential portfolio, we still do have some residential portfolio, that's 1.5 million, and Red Lions Business Park at 1.5 million. Over here in blue, I've sort of roughly calculated the debts on all of those, 2 million on those 3 commercials. That's on a portfolio loan. That's where you bulk properties together and pay one mortgage for multiple properties, called a portfolio loan. And then over here, we've got the debt on these mortgages. So the value of all the properties is £10 million. That's in valuation. And the debt that we've got is £3,755,000. So it's very easy to do the maths on this. And there's about 37% loan to value as a group. Now, I have to tell you one other thing is we use the security on those to borrow more money to invest in the business on a cash flow lend, but that just provides the security. This is why property is so good for entrepreneurs and business owners, because it allows you to borrow off it to grow your business. So like, we could use this to go and buy a chain of day nurseries, for example, or build 2 or 3 day nurseries, or build a dinosaur park at Marsh Farm. Comprende? Well, there you go. Right, let's move on to why I do property. Let's go one more time into the why on this little diagram that I've drawn here. This is what I think you should do as an entrepreneur. Number one, the business generates profits. You want to take those fast pounds, the profits that come in like a salary, they're coming in fast. You want to protect as much of it as you can and chuck it into property or slow pound building assets. For me, that's property, but also safe stocks and shares like investing in Google and Disney, but that's not what this business video is about. It's about property. And then you want to take the cash flow out of that to fund the fun in life, or reinvest the cash flow back into buying more properties. So you've got 2 choices here, but eventually you want to buy something, treat your family to a nice holiday and stuff like that. But basically what everyone does is they pull their profits out of their business to fund their fun in their lifestyle, when really you want to push it into property that will generate cash forever. I also think about this, if I died or something like that happened to me, my family can manage a property portfolio much more than they can manage a business portfolio. This needs an entrepreneur, this needs an asset manager, and that's a real key thing of why I focus on property. Most people can look after a property portfolio. Not everyone can run an ice cream company, a farm park, a zoo, a chain of day nurseries, an indoor play centre, and make teddy bears. That's just some of the things that I get up to on a daily basis. So I want to take the profits out, put them into property, then I can use the property for 2 things. Generate more cash flow. So if I get, oh, my family need it, blah, 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 I can invest it into fun in my life, have a holiday. Then I can reuse the security, the equity that we built. You know, where I said we're 37% loan to value, there's that big chunk of equity in there that I can borrow off for day-to-day business use, buying more businesses, growing more property, whatever. I can give that back to the business and use it as security. And it just becomes this nice circle of evolution in growing the company. Brilliant. What's next? That's the big thing. You know, you've got a chunky portfolio. Do I want to grow it? If you're watching my YouTube video, the answer is yes, I do. While we're here, massage the like button. Right, what's next? Cash flow and capital appreciation. Now, I spoke to you a lot about in this video that I'm focusing on cash flow, but as things are trundling on, Yeah, I think sometimes if you take less cash flow, you get better quality tenants and you get better quality units. So where I've invested up like north, you get really good cash flows, but less capital appreciation. So I want to try and get both, and I'm prepared to sacrifice a little bit of cash flow to have better capital appreciation. So the capital appreciation is what property's worth over a period of time. And as a rule of thumb, if you get lower rents, you get higher capital appreciation. If you've got higher rents, you get lower capital appreciation. What's my immediate next steps? Well, we're now buying a £1.2 million warehouse, which is going to be the factory for Rossi ice cream, where we're going to own the freehold of that, and we'll keep you updated on the YouTube channel how that's going. Building the 22 more commercial units at the back of Red Lion. So I suppose I'm always looking for added value, always looking for added value. So the Rossi factory, where we're buying that, we're going to put one of our other businesses in there and the Rossi business, and we're going to own the building. So we're going to have added value of trading it ourselves in there so we control our rents. Over time, the business is going to pay down that debt. So we're going to own a nice chunky bit of warehouse. Do you see where added value just really gets me going? And I'll do more of the same. I'm always looking for more units that I can buy where I can really control them and grow the yields, like I've done with Red Lion and Heron House. And this is my big aim. I want us to get to a £3 million rent roll per annum. Why do I want to do that? Not just because I want to have £3 million in rent coming in a year. It means it gives my business cast iron security. So things happen like the last year and a half. We all know what's happened in the last year and a half. If I can build that security, that golden goose, if you like, for my trading business, I can protect my staff, protect my family, and protect my business. All these things take generations to do. But I do think generational, and that's what I think people that do well in property think. See, property is not something where you can just flip and make easy money. It's a long-term planning thing. I started thinking about this stuff when I was 16, 17. I showed you the first house I bought. I bought that when I was a teenager. I bought another one when I was 19. I was prepared to sacrifice my own fund to invest into property. And that's what I've sort of really discovered. What do wealthy people do? What do successful people do? Whether it's investing into property or investing into stocks and shares, or investing into a business, or indeed investing into themselves, they do simply just invest. So if you've got that investor mindset, then property's for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you watch this video because YouTube's telling me you're going to like it. See ya. It's all right.